the archetypes of artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? And why is there so many questions and so many different opinions if artificial intelligence is good or bad? And what are some of the archetypes that are shown up in many of the artificial intelligence aspects that are coming forward at the moment, and some of the transhumanism agenda that's coming forward? That is some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. My name is Eileen Burns. I'm a soul purpose mentor. I'm also a spiritual business strategist. I'm also a coach, healer, therapist. I've been studying healing, holistic well-being and spirituality for 30 years. So today I'm going to talk about, the archetypes of artificial intelligence and, some of the things that are maybe going on under the table and the agenda of some of the artificial intelligence we actually all use in our business every day. And that sometimes we don't even realise that we're using artificial intelligence, because I think there's a kind of misunderstanding what actually artificial intelligence actually is. If you think about it, it's some sort of intelligence, right? And it's a form of technology usually, right? It's like, it's something that works in a certain way and it has an artificial component. So if you think about the human brain, we have an intelligence. Right? We are an intelligence as a human being, right? We have a certain intelligence and a certain way we process things, and and if you think about a lot of technology is actually being programmed by human intelligence, right? And a lot of people would say that it's been also infiltrated and interfered or even enhanced by other types of intelligence. But the reality is that artificial intelligence is intelligence, some sort of intelligence that is completely artificial. It's not natural, it's not organic, it's not came from life force and plant force, it's been tampered with, right? Now, if you look at things like social media, it is a form of artificial intelligence, right? If you think about your messenger, how it processes information, if you think about the internet, it was not organic. It is a form of artificial intelligence in some capacity, if we look at it on that basic level. Now, often when we're talking about artificial intelligence at the moment, we're talking a lot about robots and lots of things that are going on, where if we look at even these chat AI things where, people can create certain things and it starts writing things. I mean, people are creating blogs with artificial intelligence, right? Now, there's a lot of things people about that they don't know what's going on. So there has been some of the companies that are offering this software, and I think it's worth talking about this at the moment, because so that people are a wee bit more switched on. People are always looking for easier ways to do their business, to save time, energy, make more money. And the reality is people can feel as if they're bogged down with all these things that they need to do just to get clients. And it's very easy to be seduced and go for the easy option and not always look at the ethics or the bigger picture of what you're buying into, right? Now, I'm the first person, I use a lot of technology, right? So in many ways, I've been using AI for many years. Obviously, certain types of AI, there's certain types of AI I won't use, right? Now, I'm also a healer and someone who's studied many different types of healing work with many top healers around the world. And through all of that, I've learned so much about, and been able to become more energetically and spiritually discerning. I've always been highly sensitive, highly empathic, and sense things about energy that I didn't feel was quite right, and even things with technology. And also give you an example. So one of the things that I used to talk about a lot, and we're talking about 10, 12 years ago, for example, I had someone doing some of my social admin, media admin, and I said to this person that I didn't want them just sharing any type of meditation that was on YouTube on my social media, because I wanted to check in with the energy of it. And that's, so I was more acute than some people are in relation to picking up energy. But the reality, what we have going on in an energetic perspective is that there is a transhumanism agenda. And if you don't know what transhumanism is, I would urge you to start looking into it. Now, you might not get everything, the accuracy of really what's going on, because we all know what's going on with things like Google and the search engines now. Often now, to get the real truth about things, you're not getting it in mainstream. You have to go to alternate platforms and, but what I would say is you'll still be able to find some information. But transhumanism is basically moving humanism into a form of artificial intelligence. That's the simplest way to put it. And some of the ideologies and the people behind the push for transhumanism believe that as a human species, we have to evolve, and they're pushing for us to evolve. And it's almost like they're telling them, some of these have a lot of control and power. If we look at people that are part of I'll space it out, W, E, F, and people that have certain agendas in it. It's worth looking up the guy that they class as the Messiah. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say his name. But if we look at some of the things that he says, it is, if anyone really wants a video, they can contact me and I'll put a video somewhere in one of my platforms so that people can access it. But that can be really enlightening, some of the things that he's said. But basically what he states is that the soul is out. It's, it's time to get rid of the soul. It's time to get rid of the spirit. That if human evolves, it's time to get rid of God, and, that if humans want to evolve, it's a chip inside the body. And the human to evolve and to be strong and to be, so they have this idea that as human beings, we should become super intelligent, but basically become artificial intelligence and eliminate the soul. Right now, there is another agenda, and again, most people that are awakened would know about this. But what has that got to do with a lot of the artificial intelligence that is going on at the moment? Well, I was seeking, I was looking for some images recently for my business for something. Now, I am not a great photographer. Can't see it in my one eye. I have an eye that I can only see bits of colour. I've never been able to, since a child. And for a variety of reasons, photographs is just not my thing. So I was looking for something, and I wanted a landscape picture with a picture of a woman. And it was quite interesting what I started to see. I'd noticed some of this already, but it became, you couldn't hide it. And the pictures, all these landscape pictures, what was really disturbing was most of the landscape pictures that I was looking through, some of these stock photo companies, was the actual people in the picture was actually now artificial intelligence, or was made to look as if it was artificial intelligence. It wasn't made to look like a natural human being. It wasn't just like selfies. This was really AI fantasy, more looking like a fantasy. Now, that is very disturbing. But that is also, the problem is many people won't even think about that because they're so programmed, they're so disconnected from their own soul, and they have no psychic or energetic awareness or discernment because of the level they're functioning at. They're functioning at a very programmed way. And the reality is that the artificial intelligence, there's some aspects of artificial intelligence that are coming in and they're so seductive, so manipulative, and so convenient, because it makes our life easy, or it makes our life more palatable. And we just need to look at TV. TV in many ways has made people's lives more palatable. So when life is crap, what do people do? They set themselves in front of a box and to take their mind away instead of dealing with what's making them happy, dealing with their grief, their sadness, or making change in their lives. And thankfully, there is a portion of society that are waking up to that and just have switched off from that and are not easily programmed, and don't easily fall that, this narrative of who someone's telling you about and the television is truth. We're starting to realise that it's just a story. It's just a media package. If it's like any celebrity, whatever, there's a media package, there's a branding package, there's a package created to make them look at something. And I'll give you one example that might help you understand. If we look at Santa Claus, the modern Santa Claus, now I'm sure it was Coca-Cola. Now you can look this up. But one of the things that happened many, many years ago, and I think it was at least 100 years ago, right, as far as that, but what happened was Coca-Cola wanted to, up-level their marketing campaign and, really try and make more money at Christmas. And if you even look at the psychology and really the deeper aspects of what went on behind with marketing, for Christmas and why Christmas became more commercialized, your eyes start to become more wide open what really went on there. But if you look at what happened, if you look at, for example, St. Nicholas, right, who is based, what Santa Claus is supposed to be based on, right? St. Nicholas didn't look like a friendly person, no matter what he was supposed to or not supposed to do, on what we were told. It's this thin, very sharp-looking man, not jolly at all. But what did Coca-Cola? They decided to make Santa marketable. They started to make, a jolly man, and they had a whole agenda and different layers to that agenda to create a package, a persona of this jolly man who gave gifts to children and created a narrative. And that is a form of the trickster, the illusionist. Now, we can all think there's something spiritual and something kind and caring about giving presents, of course, and Santa's a magical. Think about the alchemist, the magical idea. Also, between that magic was also a push to create commercialism for certain people in very high up places, people with a lot of money, and certain people with certain agenda to create a commercial thing where people spend their money. If you think about it, we spend a lot of money and a lot of crap at Christmas. And there is other deeper agendas. And who really benefits the most from those agendas? The corporate companies. A lot of the people in the world that already have the most money, right? So that's one example. Now, if you look at the moment, the push for a lot of things for us telling people to create their blogs through artificial intelligence, who that is truly spiritual, that truly wants to share themselves and their business in a soul-aligned way, in an honest way, is going to get something to create the blog for them. That we've got to look at this in more an integrous and authentic way. If you want to be authentic in your business, the last thing you want to do is create an artificial intelligent generated blog. Believe me, it might be tempting at the moment, and I know a lot of marketers are pushing this. This is a great way to get your blogs done, whatever. Just beware, because it's not got your energetic blueprint. And one of the things that's really disturbing about some of what's come out about some of this software is that it's actually been going and taking the work of other people. It's been taking at people's Amazon books, taking copies of content and just kind of reshuffling it a little bit. So what's been happening is poor people that have maybe studied something for 10, 20, 30 years finally write their book. Some people can take years to write a book. And then guess what? Someone else is creating a blog out of really someone else's work, or is creating an ebook or a book using these types of intelligence. Now, I do know there's a fine line where you're trying to build a business and there's some types of artificial intelligence can help you. But we've got to recognize when the thief archetype is, because a lot of, there's software that you can buy, so they're making money. But what else are they stealing from you? They're not just stealing people's work and ideas and creativity. They're stealing the individuality at a level. They're stealing people's essence, their energetic soul essence in some capacity. Because when people are creative, when they write, when they sing, when they dance, when they express themselves, that energetic soul essence comes out. But when you start to allow something else to generate, and it's all computer generated, you're allowing artificial intelligence to take over. So I would urge you to really think about this. I believe that some of this is going to end up going flat, because what will happen is a lot of content is just going to look the same, sound the same, feel the same, and everybody's going to be more like robots. And if you stand your ground and you're more an individual, and you stand your ground and you stand your ground for what you spiritually stand for, you're going to stand out more, and people are going to feel that energetic imprint. And I think, to succeed in business, a lot of people are finding it really hard at the moment for their business, and they're caving in and breaking down their ethics and compromising their ethics just for money. But the reality is, you're living a more soul-aligned business and you want to live your mission. We have to, as much as we can, stand up for our convictions and our ethics and find new ways of doing things. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to I'm not saying that you have to put all artificial intelligence out the way. I'm not saying that. But I think it's really important in your business to be aware of where maybe some of the things, like you can create, I've seen some beautiful cards and things that people are used out of artificial intelligence and all sorts of things. And there's creative endeavors that we can use these things for, right? But there's also an element, a lot of people are now using the artificial intelligence completely as a permanent, they're planning to permanently put that up as their business profile. Now, I remember, I don't know how long ago, I mean, it probably was 10, 12 years ago, I remember I got someone to do, and it was something like an artificial, it was like a cartoon character, and I put it up for a wee while. Then I took it down, right? But the reality is, but even that, at least that cartoon character, it was someone said to me who hadn't seen me in years, said, oh, I knew it was right. When I saw it, I would flash it, I knew it was you right away. She says, because it got your expression. A lot of artificial intelligence is not like that. It has the look, doesn't have the soul, doesn't the spark of the eyes, it doesn't have the personality. You're individual. So, a lot of people that are seeking spiritual help are looking at us to lead the way, to lead by example. So it's important that in your business, you are a wee bit more conscious of these things and saying, right, okay, what does my business stand for? What are my core values? What is going to be really, really important? It's really authentic in my business. So as I was saying before I got cut off, one of the things we have to decide is what is really important in relation to our core values, what is going to really be important to our audience. Every business is different. Some people are, they're offering physical therapies, holistic therapies, things like Reiki and things, and people are just coming to them for a form of relaxation or well-being. But then there's some of you that are working at more a really deep level. You are teaching the spiritual teachers, or you're supporting, are really teaching things at a more advanced level, or helping people, who are working with at different levels of awakening and exploring, and helping people move towards that. And every business has a different purpose and a different mission. You have a different mission. Everyone has a different mission, and there's different aspects of your mission. But your business obviously has a mission, right? And it's important to be aligned with that mission. And if, for example, blogging is a big part of your business, and it's a big way that you can really express yourself and help people feel you, and get the message across and share, your insights and your experience and why you think you want to do. You want it coming through in an energetic way that is authentic, that is not artificial intelligence. It's like, one of the things that I talk a lot about is how, I believe part of the healing process is eating healthy food that is not energetically interfered with, food that has a life force. And processed food it doesn't have that life force. A lot of processed food is also not natural. It's been scientifically made or manipulated. And, when you eat that type of food, that lowers your level. And is, when people are at a certain level of consciousness and awareness, that's why they eat so much unhealthy food, because where they're vibrating at. Now, if you want to raise your vibration, you obviously have to do more and more things to raise your vibration. And you want to be able to raise the vibration of your business and your market, and you don't want to lower it. And you don't want to lower yourself and your uniqueness, because sometimes making temporary decisions just to make money right now or just to do things to do can actually impact your business in the long run. And as I said before, it's not about me telling you what's right or wrong for your business, or, that to dump everything that has some sort of technology and intelligence. That's not what I'm saying. But if you don't understand what's actually happening, what is being pushed, and if you don't understand the transhumanism agenda and what they're trying to normalize for children, I shared a small video that really would blow people's mind. It's a very short video. And I think it was on my personal page on Facebook, and it's also on my Spiritual Marketing Club page on Facebook. And it's a little tiny video showing you like children playing many, many years ago. I can't remember, say it was the 40s or 50s or 60s, and what they think children should, it should look like in the future, what they're planning. And it was actually artificial intelligence technology telling you what they think was going to happen in the future. And it was quite alarming and frightening. But the reality is we're not far off that, because children, if we just look at, and one of the images was, everyone's first of all, playing with their games and then having their phone like that. And so focused, and then it became that they had these kind of, I can't remember what they used for meta and things, the technology where they're so focused on fantasy and not reality, that the whole world is collapsing down around them. That is already happening. I mean, most people today, we just have to look at the last 3-4 years and how people believe so much, and they're so programmed. They have no energetic and spiritual awareness of what's going on around about them. They don't seem to be able to sense energy, or when they don't seem to see the subtleties of when things feel off, because they're so programmed. And in many ways, as this one of the guy that is classed and called the Messiah, who's one of the kind of leading push for the transhumanism agenda, who's a madman. If you look at the way that he is already saying, humans are hackable, and what he's saying is we're already hackable, and we're already being energetically hacked. But many people just don't have that awareness to recognize. And when we understand that we are allowing ourselves to be energetically hacked every day, when we allow certain things to program us, condition us, and we're really away from the soul, and we're allowing something else to control us, even a marketer, even me, it's important that you have to find your own way. You can get the help, you can get the support. And of course, there's lots of people along the way that have helped me, and I didn't have the awareness or understanding to understand certain things, and it's been them that helped me move forward. But we have to move away from this dependency on technology. And it's one of the reasons that I think if any of you can, this is one of the things that I would suggest to many business owners. the online industry has created a lot of, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful word, I just can't think of another word, in a way, a little bit of laziness, that people have all just created their online business. I always had an online component and I had a physical business until after I had sepsis. And I was just lucky to be alive, lucky to be here. And I had a lot of challenges medically. And I had to come back because one of the biggest challenges I had was noise sensitivity and constant seizures with noise and horrendous pain because of some of the complications. And also it was related to something also that I had as a child. But one of the things that I had to do was I couldn't go out and do workshops anymore. I used to go out and I trained and I taught. I've done all sorts of types of work, going out teaching holistic wellbeing, stress management, meditation, and training for therapists. I couldn't do that anymore. So I had to do online. But one of the things that I am pushing and one of the things that I'm aiming forward is to be able to go back and do actual physical work with people, not to rely on online work. Right? The people need you as a person. People need more to be brought away from the computer screen, brought away from artificial intelligence, connect more within themselves, connect more with nature, get out and actually build relationships with real people instead of relying on a screen. So for any of you who have maybe considering thinking I'm really dependent on the online thing too much, think about really stepping out and starting to offer more things on a physical level, encouraging your clients to come away from this dependency of this boxed world because it's not healthy. And it's part of the transhumanism agenda to make us like robots, all the same beliefs. It's about taking away the thief aspect. It's in many ways stealing people's creativity, stealing people's essence and uniqueness. Illusionist. And the magician, the darkest element is the magician, is when it implies something that's not true. Or it tries to make out something's magical or fantasy. And that's like the healer aspect. There's a magical aspect of that people, we see it sometimes in the spiritual industry where people make lots of promises, imply lots of things that they can't really promise to clients. And that is the darkest aspect of the magician, which has been at play for quite a few years in different industries. The trickster. And the trickster is part of the alchemist as well, but the trickster can have a fun aspect, make it like, oh, that's funny, or look at that, that's a trick, or that could do. So, we all have an element of things that, oh, look at that, that's fascinating, how did they do that kind of thing. Or, there's different elements to the trickster, but the trickster can trick people into doing things it doesn't even realize they're doing. So to me, there's the illusionist, the trickster, getting people in to use technology, get to use things when they don't even realize that they're doing it, and then get so addicted. Addictions and all part of these things. Can also look at one other, that comes into that, to see the femme fatale. Look at the seductiveness. Seductiveness, a lot of people try and even use sex just to sell, but it's done in a way that is so it's like almost it's just done to seduce people and to hit, it's done in a very manipulative way. Artificial intelligence is using seduction to reel people in. And the key here is we need to bring back the engineers, the people that can think out the box and create new ideas and ways to move away from this, or use it in a positive light. We need to be encouraging all of you that are artistic and creative, because you will inspire other people's creativity and artistic gifts, which the world needs, because the more that we create individuality and the more that we can encourage creativity, all of these things, we empower the individual and we create absolutely true magic natural magic. We create solutions and we create a beautiful world, right? The world gets dull as it tries to program us and make us all the same, right? We need the pioneers, right? You don't get a pioneer from artificial intelligence. You might think that some of artificial intelligence has been pioneered, yeah, but what I mean is that once something is a robot, it's been programmed. It doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have, it doesn't have that essence to the only it can't create like out of in many ways. If you think about the darkness, the light is the creator, its true essence. The dark doesn't create, right? If we look at the dark agenda, if those of you who know what's going on, the dark agenda cannot create. It has to take someone else's creations and manipulate it, right? The liberator, liberate ourselves from the transhumanism, liberate ourselves from agendas that are there to control and manipulate humanity. We need the healing. The healer, the true healer, is energetically aware and is always arising their own consciousness to support humanity. And they're not there to fix other people, they're just about helping people transcend and support them. The true networker. So those of you that are good networkers, really good communicators, right? That is one of the most powerful ways that you can market your business and reach the masses. And for some reason, I'm holding on to Pioneer. Well, I think I held up the Shapeshifter when I meant to hold on to Pioneer. Maybe I didn't, but I'll go back to the Shapeshifter. The Pioneer, we're all here to pioneer a new earth, a new vision, create new adventures. And it's not through transhumanism. The shapeshifter. So the shapeshifter can transcend lots of things, and there can be a positive and light. The negative aspect of this is that they're using transhumanism, they're using artificial intelligence to bring in the darker energetic frequencies, the darker agenda, right? And the light worker, and especially those of you who do really advanced healing techniques and spiritual work, who know how to shapeshift energy, everybody does it to different ways in different areas of specialty, or everybody's here for different purposes. But the more that we can bring in the light through and infiltrate, so even showing up in your authentic self on social media when everyone else is using artificial intelligence, when you can share your authentic blog, your authentic music, your authentic images, your creativity, you are bringing in the light. And the more awakened and the more that you raise your vibration and you can hold the light, you're bringing in higher frequencies and you're helping shift through that and breaking down the darker transhumanism agenda. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this video. What's your thoughts on some of the where transhumanism is going or where the artificial intelligence is going? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and if you want, share this video. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye for now.